ticket to anywhere. And a glazed donut. To go. The brain train. The brain train. All aboard.
Unmute myself. Hey folks, welcome to a special Saturday edition of the Lebrain Train with my special guest. Please welcome...
The Lebrain Train is proud to present Polychuck.
Hey man.
Hey man, what's up?
Oh, not too much. How about you?
Coolest intro, man. It's such a cool intro, man. That's awesome.
Big shout out to my buddy T-Bone who made that intro. He was supposed to be
Shout
here
out.
with us today, but he has encountered a flood.
Yeah.
But I've got his questions.
Yeah.
And we're locked and loaded.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, by the way, we're streaming live on my Instagram as well. So
Hello, Instagram.
what's up, everyone? So they're seeing us from a different angle, but yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just start off by addressing just today. I got a notification that you now have two Instagrams. You have one that's Polychuck Official, and that's geared towards like what we're going to be talking mostly about today, your music, your tunes. And then you have your other stuff, which is sort of like shred tips and teaching.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I decided I've had the idea to do that for a while. But I decided to really do it today because it's gone overboard. Like I have like over 40,000 followers and most of those people kind of discovered me through reels and videos where I was shredding, giving tips or whatever. And a lot of those people, they don't even know that I release music, or they're just maybe not necessarily interested in it. They just wanna, they're there for the shred and it's all good. Like it's but I just wanted to make it, two distinct pages, because every time I post something about my music, people, a lot of people were not necessarily interested. My engagement was going down, and I thought, let's just make some order and keep my music fans there and my shred fans there, and people that want to follow both, like they can. So I just didn't want to create any confusion. First, people that were there and wanted to follow me for my music and my songs, and they're getting bombarded with shred stuff and they don't care, you know what I mean? So my engagement was all over the place. So I decided to just do that. Yeah.
Very, very savvy of you.
Yeah. I mean, I got to kind of start all over again, because I'm starting at 0 followers. But
right.
That was like the only like drawback. It was the only thing that kept me from doing it. I was like, got to start all over again. But, I have some incredible fans and people that, they just right away when they saw, the post about the new page, they went and followed me. So I'm super thankful for that. Thank you, everybody.
Well, the way I see it, I get twice as much Polychuck now.
Yeah.
But I guess to talk about your music, the big news, of course, is Hero, your new single.
Yes.
And this is something that evolved. When we talked last year, you were talking about everything getting bigger, more progressive, and now here we are a year later with Hero, and you've got a killer band. I'm just going to read real quick, and I might pronounce their names wrong, but you have Philippe Landry and Frederic Filiatro.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And they, I think it's he's Chaos T Bass or something like that.
Yes.
You can find these guys on Instagram. They're killer. I've seen them jam together on YouTube.
Oh man, these guys are like next level musicianship. It's incredible.
9-string bass.
Yes, yeah.
The bassist has more strings than you.
Yes. But it reminds me a lot of like the Chapman Stick, or King Crimson, Tony Levin. 2011, right?
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I discovered these people on Instagram. Well, I connected with them on Instagram, rather, because I knew who they were. They were part of they weren't a big progressive metal band from Montreal that unfortunately is they don't exist anymore. But I discovered them then. The band was called Unexpect. Really, really cool. They toured with Dream Theater. They toured. They were on the Prague, the big Prague Fest. Dream Theater. What?
Probably.
I forget the name of the tour. It's a huge tour. You know,
Yeah.
Big Elf, all those bands. So, anyways.
Well, they are killer musicians, and
Yeah.
it has expanded. Like we were listening to your music as we were talking about just
Frog
before the
Nation,
show.
I'm sorry, I did Frog Nation tour.
Frog Nation.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like we were just listening to your tunes in the car. We were listening to the Shadows Remain EP, and then we jumped over to Hero, and it's all like all of a sudden your sound just went. Poof,
Yeah.
You know, it just expands the live sound of a band. It's just taking you to a whole other level.
It's because everything that I did before was like all me in my studio, my home studio. I did, like I said, the drums were all programmed. A lot of synths that were not played necessarily, programmed or played, ish, and I had to kind of quantize everything. Whereas now I have real players. I have those guys that played real instruments, and on keys I have Derek Sherinian. Can't get better than that. So.
Right, like that's a keyboard that I've been following for 30 years.
Yeah.
So that's and we were talking about earlier as well how you can just tell it's him. He's got that.
He's got his color, his sound, his B3 going through the Marshall or something. I don't know, but it's him.
So how did that hook up?
He was okay. So actually, the drummer had been following him on Instagram for a while, and Derek Sherinian was kind of advertising his he was on his Instagram. He was saying, "Hey guys, I'm doing features. I have time to do features on your." So the drummer came up to me and said, "Hey man, how about Derek Sherinian?" I was like, "Well, okay, let's ask him." But I didn't think he was going to respond. Actually, well, I wasn't sure because I was thinking, he must get 1,000, requests per day, and but it turns out he the same day he was like, yeah, sure, your music rocks, man, let's do it. So I thought it was awesome. So, and he liked the song, he did it. So yeah.
I was gonna say that I mean he must have liked the song, otherwise
why
spend your time?
Because I said, hey man, you must turn down a lot of work, and he said, man, I turned down half of it at least. So I was like, wow, okay, this is flattering. Thank you so much.
And I'm sure he gets a lot of high profile stuff too.
Alice
Cooper, Kiss. He's worked with all these guys.
Yes, exactly, and he still does. He's on tour with I think he was on tour recently with Joe Bonamassa. And
he did Black Country Communion as well, which is a killer band.
Well, I didn't know. So yeah, man, he's just everywhere. So
he is. Yeah. So that I honestly feel that really brought your music to a new level.
Oh yeah.
Now, is this sort of a hint at where your album is going to go musically?
Oh, definitely, absolutely. Last year we talked about how I wanted to go more, towards the prog sound and just a little bit more like complex writing. Well, lack of a better word, just more like richer musical, writing. But this is exactly where it's heading. My album is I'm making it right now. We're in the studio. We're recording it. It's going to be a concept album. It's going to be really cool. Very prog, but still very modern. I'm kind of slowly moving away from the trap sounds and like the loops and all that. I'm keeping some, but I'm going more organic than before, a lot more organic than before. So less loops, less synths. Not that I don't like the sound of it. It's just that I wanted to have more performances on the album rather than pre-recorded or pre-made type of stuff. Not that it's bad. It's just that I wanted mostly real humans playing stuff. You know,
Yeah, and you've already done pretty much an entire album's worth of music with that kind of style to it as well.
yeah, exactly.
So might as well move on to the next step.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you're not abandoning it. You're
Yeah.
just going to be using, I guess, a mixture of both when appropriate, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be hiring musicians. I am hiring musicians to play everything. So everything is literally played by real people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Gonna have the same bassist and drummer appearing as well?
Yeah. So
cool.
Definitely these guys. Also, I'm gonna have well, maybe not Derek Sherinian on all songs, but who knows? Maybe he'll appear on another song. But I'm not sure yet. But we'll see how it goes. And I'm also gonna have strings. So I'm hiring people that people that play the cello and play strings, and this is gonna be really cool. Yeah.
That's okay. So that's unexpected. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of professional major label releases out there that use synth instead of strings.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's cool.
I meet people through those guys that I started playing with. These guys they know Dream Theater. They've toured with them. They know a lot of people. Networking is so important.
Right.
And it opens so many doors. And the cool thing is that these guys, happen to be in Montreal and here. Like we don't live very far from each other. So
right.
We can practice. We can jam, and so that's really cool. Yeah.
And I guess also, when you were kind of starting to release some of the music in 2020, jamming with other musicians just simply wasn't.
It was, exactly. It wasn't an option. Well, I managed to, I found musicians. We did some live gigs. In September, I did a showcase with a band that I hired. Awesome musicians, great professional. It was really cool. But we couldn't really, get together and, jam and come up with ideas on the spot. Whereas today we can. So that's really cool.
Yeah. The band experience, really.
Yes, exactly. And not only that, those people are interested, or, they're not like hired guns. They're just, genuinely interested in the music and the stuff that I write. So it's a different, perspective.
Well, T-Bone had a question regarding Hero. Actually, I'm just going to read his whole comment here because it's really cool.
Okay.
He says, Hero, like most of your songs, seem to be deeply personal and delivered with passion. It's almost as though you were getting something off your chest in each of your songs. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. It came from me being, affected by what's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah.
No, I'm not there, and I probably don't have any family there anymore. My great grandfather immigrated from Ukraine and came here, but they stayed in the Ukrainian, community. But maybe I have relatives there, maybe not. I don't know. But I felt, affected by the situation, just on a, human, on a level of, just people being, suffering and stuff.
Seeing the pictures and hearing the stories and
exactly.
being affected. Yeah,
exactly. So I thought I'd, write about it.
He was also wondering if Hero was going to be on the album, but since it's a concept album, does it fit with the concept?
No, it doesn't fit with the concept. It's not going to be on the album for that reason. Just because it doesn't fit with the concept, and I thought it was still a good idea to release singles, because in this day and age, there's nothing wrong with releasing singles that are not necessarily going to be on an album.
Correct.
It's kind of the way that people consume music is very different than before. It's easy to just consume a single. People don't have to buy physical copies. Well, they don't have to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't. So I thought it was nothing wrong with just releasing a single, and maybe I'll do more. Actually, I will do more that are not going to be on the album. There's actually one coming really soon in May. There's going to be another one. And those are just going to be like singles. And what I thought was a good thing about that is that I'm kind of establishing my proggier sound with those singles. You know what I mean?
Well, you certainly did with Hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
When I release my album, people are going to be expecting prog music or proggier music.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
this is a taste of what you can expect.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's funny because you're right. We are consuming music differently, and singles are more important, I think, than ever before, really.
Yeah.
But you know, back in the day, say 20 years ago, if you had released a single, I would have had to go into a store and try to find that single. And more often than not, they were really hard to find. But now, if you say, if I log into my computer and it says Polychuck has a new single out, I can have it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can listen to it right away.
Yeah.
For free. Well, for free, literally. You can just go on YouTube and listen to it for free.
Or you can buy a copy on iTunes.
Yes, you can do that too. But iTunes they keep a big share, but still,
is there one way of consuming music that to you is the most friendly to artists?
Well, there's a downside of the downside of those streaming platforms is that us as artists, we don't get paid probably as much as before, but we can our reach is exponentially bigger.
It's the world.
It's the entire world. They can listen to your song like in just by clicking on the link. And so there's more people consuming, there's more people discovering you. So therefore, there might be a lot more people coming to your live gigs. So I don't know, there's still, benefits to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I have a surprise.
Okay.
Please welcome to the show, Mr. Flood himself, T-Bone.
Oh, hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Man, I hope the flood isn't too bad.
Well, actually, I'm splashing around here, but
oh, wow.
I'm only going to pop on for like a minute. I just wanted to express my regrets. I really was looking forward to chatting with you, Polychuck. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you so much.
And I'll ask one real lighthearted question before I let you guys get back to it if I can. I just recently turned 55 years old. So I'm wondering, with your guitar lessons, are there any senior discounts?
Yeah, man. No, but it's an idea. Why not? I still have an Easter sale going on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Easter sale.
Yeah.
Right on. Right
I'm glad
on.
your guitars are not affected by the flood.
Yeah, thank God I have them up high, and that was only recently done. So that was one smart thing I did. But anyway, I'm going to cut out. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I just wanted to say hi. Big fan. Really regret not being there, but anyway, I'll catch up on the show. I'll catch up on the show later today.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Dampness. His name was Dampness.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, it's appropriate. Man, I thought he was lucky to have put his guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the damages are, but fortunately the instruments.
Is it going on in Thunder Bay right now? Is it?
Yeah, apparently they've got widespread flooding in Thunder Bay right now. A lot of snow, a lot of rain.
You guys are up north, right?
He is. I am in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, so I'm down south, closer to the Toronto area.
Yeah, okay.
Where it's warm but cloudy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're probably at the same kind of level.
More or less, yeah.
More or less.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's a beautiful day in Montreal at least.
Well, warm and cloudy, pretty much the same as you just described. Yeah. Well, I love that weather though. It's my favorite. This perfect. Sunny is better, but this temperature, this weather for me is perfect. So.
Me too. I'm not sweating.
Yeah, exactly.
He brought up the lessons. Maybe I should just quickly address that. So you do them? Do you do them online and in person?
And yes, I have one student that I kept in person.
Okay.
But I was doing. So last year I was doing one-on-one lessons through Zoom and stuff like that. But I kind of, I don't do them as much as I did before.
Okay.
I kind of focused more on my courses and the group lessons and the mini lesson packs and the stuff like that. Because it's very time consuming to be one-on-one with somebody. You can really just teach one person at a time. Which is great because they get more attention, but it's difficult to there's a limit to how many people you can teach.
Right.
You can teach to. So so I made my own courses. I made my own lessons, and there's an app that I use. It's called Tonara. Really, really cool. It's for teachers, music teachers. They create courses, and then people can sign up, and they join this what they call a group group course. It's not really a group course, but they call it a group, like a VIP group or something.
Okay.
And what's cool is that everybody that's doing the course, they can do the course that you created at their own pace, but they become part of a community, so they can chat and talk between each other, and you're also part of the group. So if they have questions, they can come to you and always ask questions, ask for feedback. So it's kind of like an interactive online lesson. It's not just like buy my lesson and do it on your own. I'm there, and the group is there, and everybody's like helping each other. So that's the like the new concept, and I really like that, and I try to put my energy more there. I can answer.
And once again, there's an Easter sale on, so
yeah,
get it while you can. Get it while you can.
Yeah. Awesome.
And they would check you out. I guess the Polychuck Instagram might be the best place to check out some of that information.
Yeah, Poly_Chuck.
There you go. On Instagram. Let's see. I will also tell you, T-Bone tells me that he was listening to all your music in the car with his daughter. And nice. They were really, really digging it, and they were really trying to get into the lyrics. And nice. I believe he told me, there it is, Lights Out, In the Dark, and Hero are their favorite songs.
Nice.
And he also wanted to point out Construct.
Yeah.
He said, even in a song that's an instrumental where you could just shred, you're remaining melodic and you play for the song, which he personally loves. He finds it catchy and hooky, which for an instrumental is challenging to achieve.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, and it's true that it's a challenge to do that. There's a lot of like, it's easy to shred and to play. Well, no, let me say it in another way.
Easy for him.
Well, there's well, you can shred and play as fast as you want, but to make your lines and to make your melodies and your guitar solos more meaningful, that's another challenge. And my way of kind of doing that is that was my jazz teacher when I was in college, who taught me that when you play a solo, try to do like they did back in the times of the Mississippi blues. They were asking questions, and it was a question and an answer, 2 questions and an answer. So try to make your lines sound like a question and resolve. It's like tension and resolution. Ask your question and reply to that question, and a question and an answer. So it's hard to explain with words and with no example or whatever, but you can create tension with music and resolve that tension. Create tension, so that creates movement and dynamics, and that's what we are. That's what we like as humans. That's what we connect to, because it's like a story being told.
It's like a ride.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's although there's no like meaning per se, it seems like the music is telling us something. So
yeah. And then of course, sometimes the music can tell you something, but the lyrics don't necessarily tell you the same story. They might be telling 2 different, maybe related stories, but I find a lot of your music is a lot brighter, especially in the first EP, a lot brighter and lighter in sound than some of the actual lyrics, which is fascinating.
And this is really on purpose. I really did that on purpose to create that like, what is going on here? This guy, I don't know if I can say a bad word, but you know what I'm gonna say.
You can.
Type of vibe where especially with the younger generation and then hip hop generation and more punk, they have that punk mentality of I don't give a damn. I'll be whatever, and I'll be as confusing as possible. So I just wanted to have a little bit of that. So a little bit of like, especially the song Lights Out, like super depressing. The lyrics are super depressing. Although it's not that. It wasn't my state of mind. I was not in a bad state of mind, but I wanted to have those darker lyrics with brighter melodies, and I really like that contrast. So.
To me, what I get from the songs when I hear that is sort of like an optimism. Like, yes, there's
Yeah.
bad shit, and yes, you can swear. There's bad shit, but there's a lot of, in your music, there's a lot of overcoming and a lot of fighting
Yes.
back.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Exactly. So because there's a lot of that in my life. There was a lot of that stuff in my life. I'm an, ex-addict. I shouldn't say ex-addict. I should say I'm still an addict, but I'm a sober addict because that stays with you for the rest of your life. I'm a recovering addict. So that's something, overcoming challenges is something that's very, that relates to my life. So you were right 100%.
Well, again, I find that that's a positive. That's an optimistic ending, and also inspiring. And I also, I find it inspiring as well because you're doing not only working on an album and having done all these other tunes solo, you teach and you do the mixed martial arts thing, which I absolutely find fascinating because I'm just a skinny little guy, and I see you, I see you doing a kick where your foot is as high as my head is, and I wonder to myself, like, how does he do all this? How do you have time?
Well, I started doing martial arts in my late 20s, mid to late 20s. So I started doing martial arts at 26, 27, and with the mindset of whatever I start, whatever I really put my mind to, I will achieve. And so I've always wanted to be able to do a head kick, and if you stretch enough and if you train enough, you will be able to do it. And now I can do it. So it just goes to show that I'm just literally proving to myself that whatever I put my mind to, I can achieve. And to answer the question about time, well, the Tonara app really helps with that because now I don't have to teach, to be with someone one-on-one, one person at a time. I can teach to hundreds of people. And I still give them attention. I still, help them. And I, my goal is to help them achieve their goals. But I have more time. So
Technology and the wonderful stuff that we have available to us now, thanks to this pandemic, everybody has a webcam.
Yeah. Now it's integrated in every laptop, I would say. Yeah.
That's amazing.
But there's no CD player anymore.
I know. The last laptop I bought.
Yeah.
It's like,
no CD. My car doesn't have a CD player.
No, me neither. We were listening to your music on one of these things,
Oh wow, USB key.
Yeah. But
again,
the times have changed. But you seem very tech savvy. I mean, your social media, you are completely up to date, and you seem to know what you're doing.
I try to keep up with I follow pages of people that are successful and on social media, and I try to get inspired by what they do. So yeah, I mean, I try to keep up with that stuff. It's especially TikTok. TikTok was a hard one, but I had some success on TikTok. I have like 23,000 followers.
Whoa.
I had to kind of adapt or understand the vibe of TikTok. It's more popular with the younger generation. It's younger than me, so maybe one generation below, which is I forget what they are.
I no idea.
I'm a millennial. I'm one of the older millennials.
There you go.
Old millennial.
And now we're on a whole new generation beyond that.
Yeah. So TikTok. I had to understand the vibe because people have no success when they try to post stuff as if it was Instagram because people don't care on TikTok. It's very different. It's
very different styles.
Yes, exactly. It's like faster pace.
A lot of editing.
Very fast. Everything has to be fast.
And always a vertical video. Always.
You can post a horizontal video. It's not going to do as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, the algorithm, the way it is, what people are looking for, the way people want to consume content on TikTok is just completely different. You have to understand the vibe. And the only way to do that is to consume TikTok, yourself. So I
Yeah.
had to be on TikTok and, scroll on TikTok to kind of really get the vibe. It's very different than Instagram. Instagram is kind of similar, but a different audience, a little bit older, I would say.
Yeah, like my mom, and I think my mom's on Instagram.
Yeah, my mom's on Instagram too, but I think she's more like Facebook generation. She's
Right. There you go. There's a whole other generation. It's like
There's a
social
whole-
media has generations.
Exactly, yeah. And you
Yeah.
have like people my age are more on like, I would say Instagram and Snapchat, because Snapchat, I don't have Snapchat by the way, because it's just too many platforms, and I just can't be everywhere. But I would say that, because it became very big when I was like maybe 20, 21. Same with Instagram. So, but the vibe is different. People on Instagram, if I post guitar stuff on Instagram, people will like to see, they like to see chops and solos, and whereas TikTok, they like to see a joke or something funny about it.
Yeah.
Or a tip or something, if I just play a solo, it could be the best solo I've ever played. People don't really care on TikTok. It's got to be somewhat funny, or there's got to be a context.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
he does really well.
It's not something I fully have mastered. I haven't even dipped my toe into TikTok, but there's some good creative stuff too. A lot of garbage, but good creative stuff.
A lot of garbage, but yeah, some very, very stuff, very creative stuff, very interesting stuff, and you get inspired by what you watch. And so I kind of came up with my own jokes by watching other. There's trends also. You can follow a trend. So try to recreate videos. And that works really well. You recreate something that somebody has done, but you do it your own way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm embarrassed to say that I've seen the Island Boys on TikTok, and I've seen all of the tributes to the Island Boys.
Yeah, I don't know if they it worked for them. It worked really well.
It sure did. It sure did. I don't think that's a collaboration that you need to particularly seek out, but there's an example of how to make a parody video on TikTok. Do an Island Boy.
Oh, I could have done the song, the Island Boy.
You totally you should. Maybe you should.
Yeah, I think now it's an old trend now. The Island Boys are
that's like January.
It's like old stuff.
And it moves so quickly. You have to, like you said, there's so much, like for an artist like yourself of this generation, there's so much for you to balance. You've got to put stuff up on YouTube. Yeah. You have to have, Spotify, all that other stuff. Yeah. Exactly. And you do, I'm assuming from our chat here that you do your social media entirely yourself, basically.
Yes, entirely myself. Because I don't know anybody who can do it the same way as I wouldn't want to put that in somebody else's hands, and I understand my audience better than anyone else. Yeah. So I would not hire somebody to do my social media. And I think that it would show in my post that it's not me, Yeah. I did it. I hired a company over a year ago, about January 2021. And they were posting stuff, great content, great pictures, but just the captions were just not me. And I had people telling me in my DMs, is that really you? Really? No, it's not. It's not your phrasing. It can't be you. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm spending tons of money, and people, feel that it's not genuine. So F it. I'm just going to do it.
That's important. Yeah, because you're not an actor, you're a musician. You're representing not a character, you're representing yourself.
Exactly. I'm representing myself, and my goal is not to be a show off on social media. My goal is to connect with people and create kind of a community and be friends with people, not be like, hey, look at me, I can shred and no. So I try to reply to every comment that I get. I really try. I try really hard.
I can vouch for that. So from what I'm gathering from this chat is that you are not necessarily out there to promote Polychuck, but you are out there to support and just let the music grow in your community.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. Spot on. and I'm there to help people achieve their goals. You know, whether you know people that want to learn how to shred, I'm there to help them. People that want to be part of the, join the party of me and my music, they're more than welcome. It's more that than, me, look at me, how good I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the shred, when I was listening to the tunes in the car today, I was hearing some like Steve Vai tones.
Yeah.
And T-Bone had a song about your tone here. Where is it? His notes. Here we go. What makes up your rig? What effects do you use to create your tone? And what is your go-to amp for recording and playing live?
I think I can show you if I just do this. Okay.
All right, I'm going to zoom in here.
There it is.
Oh, wow, Marshall.
This I'm using I'm like using my laptop. But yeah, so I'm using this for leads. This is the Marshall JCM 2000, just, classic heavy amp. And I'm using a Plexi for, chuggy riffs. So Plexi, classic tube screamer, very, very simple stuff. Just the classic Marshall amps,
A lot of the time on your solos, I'm trying to figure out what's going on because, I mean, there's a lot of fast parts, but I'm wondering if some of it might be double tracked or if that's just the guitar effects. I can't really tell. It just sounds like there's such a rich tone there that there could even be two guitars double tracked.
There's always a backing. There's always like the riff in the back. So I don't go from unless I'm playing live, I'm going to go from playing the riff to the solo. But on the songs, there's the backing track. So yeah, that might be it. But when I'm playing solos, it's really just me and my amps and my pedals. That's
just
it.
a single guitar, not overdubbed with double. Interesting.
Sometimes there's keys that are over.
Okay.
So they're just, yeah.
That might have been what I was hearing because I know I was hearing like a depth. There was like a richness to the tone that sounded like more than just a guitar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In the song "Scarred," I have a line that goes like a proggy synth dubbed with guitar. Yeah. Exposure as well. The song "Exposure" has that too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we were listening to all that. So, speaking of live, T-Bone wanted to know if, last time we spoke was a year ago, if anything has changed, if there's any chance of you coming to Ontario. I mean, I don't think a year ago we really thought we'd still be.
Yeah. I mean, no, exactly. A year ago, we didn't think we'd still be in this situation, but here we are. I'm going to try my best, I'm going to try, get in touch with promoters and stuff like that. And also, like, I'm doing everything myself. It's all DIY. I don't have like, a label or like a tour management company. It's all me. So I'm going to really try to do my best. I know that the band I'm with right now, they want to do like, they want to play live. They want to do shows. So we'll do our best. And if no opportunity comes, we'll make one. We'll just, I'll just go to a venue and, rent the place for a night and invite my friends and, So
how much have you been able to do live since, in the last year?
Last time?
Yeah.
I think I've only done my showcase. And that's
it, eh?
And that was mostly for the media. So for, the press and people that Chip invited, unfortunately he couldn't make it, but it was for the press and they came, they liked it. It's just that, a couple of weeks after that, it was another lockdown and another lockdown and another this and that. So it kind of like, they probably haven't forgotten about me, but it's just that, there's less opportunities. So they're going to give the opportunities to the bigger bands, the bigger names.
I know it's we're seeing concerts coming back and we're seeing tours happening, but amongst my friends, about 50% of them are ready to go. And another 50% who I respect equally as much are just like, I'm just not ready to do it yet. And it just seems that we're not quite there yet. You can just get out there and start gigging. There's so much hesitancy still. Which we never expected.
It's okay, people can, people, if they're not ready to go out, that's fine, and it's totally okay. And I went to see Dream Theater when they came to Montreal. That was a month and a half ago ish, maybe 2 months ago. I saw Dream Theater 15 years ago, and the place, the Bell Center, was packed. This time, well, it's 15 years later, but still, it was like half full.
Right.
I thought maybe, the pandemic is probably a big factor.
I would think so.
That there's a lot less people. Also, Dream Theater is not an older generation, but people that I would assume that a show, that's maybe like a hip hop or rap show that as more targeting a younger generation would be more, people wouldn't care as much. And, do you understand what I mean? Like,
I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah. I'm trying to not be rude and say like old people want to stay at home. It's not.
No,
that.
you know what? You're right. I haven't gone to a concert yet. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't want to go to, and that's totally fine. I totally understand that.
It's tough to make plans though.
It is.
Like I'll be totally honest with you. I had concert tickets to a show last night, and I decided that, basically the last minute, I wasn't going to go. I wasn't comfortable. But when I bought the tickets 2 months ago, I was comfortable.
Yeah. You never know. And what was it? Just
it was Coney Hatch, classic rock. And I'm sad that I did not go. But on the other hand, I had to be comfortable.
Yes,
but that's the kind of thing that artists are going to have to deal with, which is the uncertainty and the constant change.
Yeah. Well, Dream Theater, they were supposed to be here last year, and they canceled the show. And I had tickets for their first show, and they canceled the tour due to a lockdown or whatever. If something happens during the tour, but even if the date that they were supposed to come, the lockdown is over, they still have all those shows, so it just messes up everything.
Yeah. So, and I'm seeing a lot of bands, like, a week's worth of cancellations because somebody got sick. So there's still that happening too. There's nothing that's straightforward about what we're navigating now. Is
we're trying to, like you said, navigate through that. And, so I had a lot of fun at that show.
I hope this summer, hope by summertime, maybe there'll be a chance for some Polychuck gigs live.
I'd love to. And like I said, if there's no opportunity, I'll make one. Literally,
Yeah.
I'll look at a venue or, open mic or whatever. I'll find a way to do it. And if not, I'll just do it here, man. Or we'll do it and we'll do it live on Instagram.
Yeah. And that seems to be a good way of getting out to people as well.
Yeah.
I said this at the start of the pandemic, that we're seeing obviously a lot of adversity, but we're also seeing a lot of creativity to overcome that adversity. So what you're talking about, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about is adaptations that musicians are making today.
Yeah. And great stuff. We're coming up with, cool ideas and stuff that we would have never thought about before. So like the live streams, obviously it's not the same energy, but it's another way to kind of promote yourself. Musicians, they can monetize maybe by, their music by doing that. So there's a lot of new opportunities and things we've never thought about.
And interactivity too, because, if you're doing something like a YouTube live stream, there's a constant slew of comments coming, and you can respond.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for the compliment. Or we'll play that song next. Or
yes, exactly. So that's
really
cool.
I like the interactivity that's come with this, with the new times we're living in.
Yeah, and you can literally do like a gig in your living room with an acoustic guitar. If you're, it's like the unplugged, Nirvana Unplugged, that type of stuff that they did. Well, now you can do it in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I remember at the start of the pandemic, Bon Jovi was doing live acoustic performances from his house, and bands were putting out videos of them performing in their individual houses.
Yeah.
Which was kind of neat to see. It's like, oh wow, look at his house.
Yeah.
And just like you behind you, you know, it's like, oh, look at his guitars.
Look at his guitars. Look at his. Yeah. Yeah. But that's cool. It's another thing that, you know, we would not have, you know, maybe we would not have done before.
Yeah,
So,
typically, you know, before pre-pandemic, almost every interview I did was over the phone or written or in person.
Yeah,
I never did one like this pre-pandemic.
wow.
So it is kind of neat.
Yeah, it is
Over the phone. Like, who does that anymore?
Yeah. Well, unless you're like on live radio, I don't see the point. You can do it through Zoom. And
right.
You know, great. Like I like the layout and the video looks amazing. The intro is freaking awesome. You have done that over the phone.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to jump to where my questions are all mixed up because I have T-bones with mine. Okay, here it is. I wanted to ask you this question. Very, very, very serious question.
Okay.
Let's talk about food.
Yeah.
I read that you love cooking. So I want to know everything about that. I want to know what kind of food you're cooking. I want to know what you're doing. Like, could we ever see like the Polychuck cooking Instagram channel?
Cooking show, the Polychuck cooking. Okay. So this might be controversial a little bit. I am vegan. This is
okay.
Not a lot of people know that, and I've written, I said in some of my posts, oh, you know, there was one post on my birthday. I said, thank you for the vegan cake. And I had people commenting, vegan, I'm unfollowing you right now. Okay. You know,
what the hell?
I don't know. Apparently it's a very controversial thing, but I'm openly vegan.
I have lots of vegan friends and family members. So
I don't, you know, I don't understand why people judge other people based on what they eat. This is ridiculous.
Of all the things to judge people on.
Yes, exactly. The foods that we enjoy. Anyways, there's a lot of veganism, you know, activists and people that, you know, try to shame people for eating meat. And I'm not that, and I'm not okay with that. You don't shame people for eating what they want to eat. You know, in the name of, you know, animals' rights and stuff. I understand, like, but don't tell people what to do. Mm-hmm. There's no way you're going to tell people something, you know, there's no way you're going to make more vegans by telling people they're stupid and they're
right.
You know, they should.
You're turning people off with that kind of chatter,
and
instead of growing an understanding.
Yes, exactly. And this might be controversial. I'm going to have, you know, a lot of hate for what I just said.
Not from me.
Yeah. Thank you. I know, but obviously I'm going to have unfollows for that, and that's fine. I don't care. You know, I'm, you know, getting rid of bad energy.
I have vegan followers on my site. They always make comments at me in a humorous way whenever I talk about eating meat. We have a humorous back and forth, which I think is healthy.
Yeah,
come on. Like,
and you know, you were, you know, those vegans. I'm assuming they were not born vegans, you know. So that they ate meat before. Yeah. I ate meat before. There was nothing wrong with that. I decided it was my choice. I decided to be vegan. I can't, you know, go ahead and tell somebody they're stupid because they're eating meat. I was eating meat, and I don't think there's anything stupid about eating meat. It's just my personal choice.
He's made his personal choice. You know, I was. Somebody's phoning me. Ignore that. I was just going to ask you for recipes. I wasn't necessarily looking to go down this road, but I am actually legitimately curious about what you enjoy cooking for yourself, because hey, I could use a little bit more healthy eating. Yeah. So, you know, if lay it on me, man. Tell me what your favorite thing to cook is.
So cooking was what I was doing before. I always played music, but it was kind of like the path that I chose as a safe, like
a B-side. If this road fails, I'll try this road.
Exactly. Absolutely. Exactly. So I did, I went to cooking school and I became a chef, and I was a chef.
Really?
Yeah. In a like fancy-ish restaurant in Montreal. We did a lot of steaks and tartare and stuff like that. So I ate my fair share of meat, but now it gave me, the ability to cook and to cook good food, and I understand cooking. I understand how to make food taste good. So, and well, now I don't cook as much as I did before. Now that I'm with my girlfriend and we have kids and stuff, and she likes to cook, so and it's fine. I taught her a lot, and
Oh yeah.
I'm sure if she is watching, she's gonna be pissed that I say that. She likes to say that she came up with the ideas, but anyways.
Well, maybe you both taught each other. Let's just say that.
Maybe, yes, let's just say that. So yeah, I love to cook, man. Vegan food. I think there's a lot of, obviously vegan because I'm vegan, but there's a lot of like great stuff. Junk food. Good food doesn't have to be junk food, man. You can make really good, tasty, healthy food. It's all about the technique. It's all about, you can make a great salad. You can make a great, vegan mayonnaise. You can make great, man, just French fries and ketchup. It's
You can do
vegan.
that. You can do that vegan.
You can do that. You can do that healthy. It's vegan. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not saying you should go and eat French fries and ketchup. It's more healthy.
But you can if you choose.
But yes. So yeah, and I love cooking. I love the techniques. I love to create dishes. So
that's cool. So we can expect we got coming up. We got the Polychuck album. We got the Polychuck cookbook. We got the
or I was always good with my hands, so I'm pretty good at chopping vegetables fast. So
I'm getting the impression, like, obviously cooking is also a creative experience. You've been creative your whole life, essentially. You've been a musician since you were a young fella, but you've been creative your whole life. Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, I was never really good at drawing, but I always like to create stuff, come up with stories, tell stories, create stuff, make music. Yeah.
I know I've said this before last time we talked, though, but yet your music videos and whatnot are very visual. Like you do face paint in some of them. Yeah, I love the video for Beating Myself Down, where it's you talking to you. I love that. Like you do have obviously a visual expression.
Yeah, it's because I'm a big fan of like movies, and I like the way of I like visual arts. Although I'm not the best at it, it's hard for me. I can have the concept and the idea in my head. It's just hard for me to create it. That's why I hire people that are really good at that. But it's very important. I love good visual arts, and I love good visuals in general. Yeah, and it I think it accompanies the music really well.
Yeah.
But the goal is still the music. The music is the music is the main the meat.
Right.
No,
like you've never written a song thinking, boy, I'm going to make a video about this. No, the song came first in every case.
The song comes first, and the song is the goal. But I think a great music video, nice artwork, nice artwork cover, CD covers. I think it's necessary now, especially on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. T-Bone's back with a comment here. His daughter and him love the instrumental construct. She's into synchronized swimming and commented that she'd like to do a synchronized swimming routine to that tune. So there's a music video idea right there.
Yes, right there. Yeah, that could be really, really cool.
Wow, that is cool that somebody thought that.
Yes. Well, unexpected. That's really, really cool. And it's, man, I think there's so much skill in that, synchronized swimming is so impressive, man. I can barely stand with my head above the water when I swim for like a minute. So props. And that's
if you want to see somebody drown, then here watch me synchronized swim. Sorry, I just lost my question here as we start to wrap up. Okay, sorry. I'm sure as an artist you have noticed people have different interpretations of your music and different impressions of it. Like, for example, he's hearing synchronized swimming music when he hears that. But he also mentioned, as we were discussing your lyrics, we're talking about Lights Out. and that's one of his favorite tunes. And he thought that maybe the Lights Out might have been a mixed martial arts metaphor, like getting physically knocked out.
No, but
it could be both, right?
Yes, yeah, totally. You're right. But no, not at all. It was more like Lights Out. I'm done with that old life, and let's move on to the brighter. Let's turn out the lights, and so then we can, that chapter is over, and then move on. But it could be Lights Out. Boom.
I like that he had that idea that maybe it's about the other thing too. Has mixed martial arts ever made it into your music?
Not really, except for a music video. The music video for Exposure.
Okay.
I thought it was very appropriate with the lyrics. To be like a fight. Other than that, not really. But you never know, man. Inspiration comes from absolutely everything in my life. Like everything in my life inspires me. My kids, martial arts, for the music video. But who knows? I might, come up with another song. Yeah.
After this album comes out, the next one might be a concept album about a mixed martial artist who teaches guitar and cooks.
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, as we wrap up here, I'm going to try to get some information out of you about the album. Can you tell us anything, a title, anything about the concept, a song, anything? Twisting your arm here. What can you give me?
Okay. I'm going to give you the title. Okay, I'm just going to give you the title of the album. The title is She, as in a person, she, a female.
S-H-E. Okay.
S-H-E.
Interesting.
Concept about, I don't know how much I can talk about the concept, but it's about a person, a fictional character, obviously, but
a story.
A story. Someone who's having a crazy experience, a crazy spiritual awakening experience. It's going to be really cool. I don't know how much I can say about it now, but yeah.
Well, that's a tidbit. I got a title.
Strings, we're going to have cellos, strings, violins, guitars. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be epic.
I can't wait. Do you have a time frame of when we can hear some of the, like you said, you've got another single coming first in May?
Yes. Yeah. So I have another single in May. I have time frame. It's difficult for me to give you a time frame because I want to make sure I release the album at the right time. There's times to release music in the year, times that are, I don't want this album to go to waste. So I want to make sure I pick the right time. And if it's got to be next year, it's going to be next year, just to make sure it's, it doesn't go to waste.
Right.
If it's got to be next year, there's going to be singles before, obviously. So
that's awesome. Again, that's awesome because you can still keep feeding us new music.
Exactly. There's going to be new singles off of the album. There's going to be, glimpses of the album. So,
oh man,
well, next year or this year, if it's going to be this year, it's going to be not later than October, because everything after that is kind of like, you don't want to get in the way of, you don't want to have Christmas albums in,
right. It'll get buried.
Exactly. You'll get buried under tons of Christmas stuff. So if it's not October, it's going to be beginning of next year after the holidays, obviously. But February, end of January, beginning of February are great times to release music. So
yeah, I remember Van Halen releasing a couple albums in very late winter, early spring like that, and perfect for when the weather starts warming up like it is now.
Yeah, exactly. And another bad time is like summer, summertime, like in the middle of the summer. Everybody's
releasing their new summertime singles and touring, and
people have other things and they want to go out and have fun and enjoy the sun, and you get buried under a lot of pop music, sunny stuff, sunny tropical vibes, which has nothing to do with me. So I'll make sure I pick the right time. But you'll get singles for sure before. You'll get one that's not on the album next month.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Maybe another one the following month, and maybe another one the following month. Who knows?
So people check that out on Polychuck Official, the new Instagram page. He needs some new followers. And then you can still check out the old Polychuck. Did I say Polygram? I meant Polychuck. Polygram was a record label. And the old Poly_Chuck is the original.
Or guitar lessons or anything that has to do with shredding and guitar and
plus everything he's already posted in the past is all there. Exactly. So check that out. Check him out for lessons. The Easter sale is still on, and absolutely take my word for it. Check out Hero, the new single.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm looking forward to your new album in the late year or the new year, whatever happens, however long it takes, man.
Yeah. Well, you'll have singles for sure in the meantime. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing an hour with me today. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and God bless you, man. Take care.
Thanks a lot, man.
Ciao. Bye. See ya.
One-way ticket to anywhere and a glazed donut to go. The Brain Train. The Brain Train. All aboard.
"55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire. Back to Lafleur. Scores!